Hi everyone, welcome to another shave video. In this video I'll be using summer break bell ringer sample for the first time. I have used summer break version 1, but I have never used the version 2 of summer break. So today summer break announced another exclusive soap for ready to wet shaving, so I thought that I might just take out this sample and use it. The brush today is a Edwin Jagger 25mm synthetic knob. So someone asked me last week on Reddit is that why do I use samples, because most of my videos on YouTube are using samples. Why do I do that? Do I prefer samples, or do I not have enough soaps? The reason behind that is that when I first made a bunch of videos which weren't public at that time, I made this for a bunch of relatively new folks on Reddit, wet shaving, and the IRC chat room. And whenever it comes to new folks, lots of us suggest that you guys go ahead and try some samples and see which one you like more and whatnot, before buying dozens of soaps like us. And then there will always be some people who say that when it comes to performance, you cannot get the best performance out of a shave sample. You need a full pack or something. Now, I don't personally agree with that. I think you can get the best possible performance out of a shave soap sample. Maybe not the fragrance, maybe not the texture of the soap, but when it comes to slickness, residual slickness, etc., you can get the best possible result from a sample itself. So when I made those videos, I decided to intentionally use samples so that I can show them how to create leather, and at the same time how to create good leather with shave soap samples. So that was my reason. That is still my reason, that whenever I do a video, I don't plan to be a YouTuber. Now I'm just doing these videos because we are all stuck at home, have nothing to do. So whenever I make a video, I still have newbies or relatively newer persons in my mind. So I try to use samples because they'll get an assurance that okay, you can get a great looking leather with a sample. Obviously I enjoy using a full tub more. I mean, why not? I didn't say anything during the loading process, and this is the first time I tried this base, so you can guess that it was really easy, very straightforward. The leather seems to be more on the low structure side than the high structure side, but not severely. Still has some volume. I can probably stop now, but I'll just go ahead and add some more water. It's good. The scent is really nice. It's a very good shave soap scent. I won't wear this as a fragrance, but it's a very enjoyable summerish scent. Mango, pineapple, and maybe something else. Those are the two I get. The razor today is a Gillette Slim on setting 9 with a Wizamet blade on its 9th or 10th use. I forgot which one. So let's go. Gillette Slim used to be one of those razors that I tried before and didn't like. I recently picked one up from eBay, this one, cleaned it up, fixed one or two minor issues, and to my surprise, I'm really liking this soap a lot. Not soap, the razor. I remember that I found this razor to be a little bit uncomfortable during the against the grain pass. It felt a little tuggy, but this time around my technique is now definitely better, and I'm really enjoying using this razor. I think I underhydrated a little bit. Yeah. So one way to tell whether I'm underhydrating or not is that, say I'm done with this pass, right? So if I take a little bit of water in my hand and rub it on my face, if it feels slicker than it was before adding water, that means that there were opportunities to add more water, which I didn't. On the other hand, if it feels extremely thick without adding water, and then you add water and the slickness kind of washes away, then you know that you shouldn't have added more water. That's a rough way to tell whether you're underhydrating or overhydrating your leather. So I added a bit too much water now, but I just want to see how it performs. Yeah, definitely better now. So on Reddit chat room, someone was saying the other day that the worst case if you overhydrate your leather is that you're shaving with a residual slickness, and if the soap is good, then that should be good enough. But the worst case of underhydrating the leather is that you don't have any slickness, or very little slickness, or very suboptimal slickness. So if you ask me, it's always, unless you really care about the not making a mess, which I do. I'm a messy person in general, so I just make a mess. I spill leather everywhere. So unless you care about that too much, I think it's always better to overhydrate than to underhydrate. Really good slickness, pretty good residual slickness as well. So about the slim. So you see, there are some this adjustable or this gimmicky razors where you have multiple blade gaps, multiple blade exposures to work with. For example, Wolfman W2, Carve 6S, and these old adjustables. I find that sometimes they work better. Some razors they work better in aggressive settings. Some razors work better in milder settings. Slim, in my experience, at least in last 10 days of trial, I find that Slim is a better aggressive razor or mid razor than a mild razor. The mild settings on the Slim are not really comfortable to me, especially going against the grain. For example, on setting 9, it feels really, really nice. If I lower it down to say setting 3, let's see. You know what? This also feels nice. I just think that my technique improved a lot since the last time I tried a Slim. But with lower settings, it's a bit frustrating to get a good shave on my neck. So what ends up happening is that I overshave and get lots of irritations. So I'll just use the aggressive settings. It used to be an aggressive razor, I guess, back in the day, but now, compared to most of the razors that are in the market, even Slim at a setting 9 is more like a 6 out of 10. Now about the soap, this is my first impression, but I think I have dialed in the leather. So the first word that comes to my mind is easy. And when I say easy, it's not really that it's easy to load, easy to lather. It's just dialing in, working with different amounts of water. This soap base seems to be very tolerant of that. You don't need a super amount of water, but it can take some water. It's not terrible if you underhydrate a little bit, which you shouldn't do, but if you do. So this aspect of shave soap, that means the overall ease of use, not just initial loading, lathering, just how less finicky a soap base is becoming more and more important to me these days. Because there was a time I used to consider myself a hardcore hobbyist. I would take every soap as a challenge and practice so much that I get superb leather, even with Williams mug soap, Mitchell's Wolf at Mystic Water and everything. But these days, not that I look for, but I really appreciate a very easy to work with soap. One other soap that comes to my mind is the Spearhead shaving experimental base. I had the 11.1, which was undoubtedly one of the easiest lathering soap I have ever used. This one too, I won't say it's elite of the elite in terms of residual slickness and whatnot, but it's just so easy to work with. This blade is losing its edge a little bit, so I have to probably change it soon. So a recap of the products I used today. The soap is a sample of Summerbeck bell ringer pressed in our old Mike's tin can. Brush is a 25mm Edwin Jagger Edwin Jagger synthetic fiber. This is a really nice synthetic brush. Unfortunately, they discontinued the 24mm version. It's nice because it's soft, it's good at lathering, but at the same time it's fairly unique compared to most of the other synthetic knots that you can buy right now. It has a really high loft, so it feels really big on my face. So that's it. And the razor today is once hated but now loved Gillette Slim on a 9 setting with a Wizamet blade on its 9th or 10th use. I'll probably use some aftershave. Maybe I'll use Tallow Steel Morocco. Yeah, we talked about that aftershave yesterday on Reddit. So thank you for tolerating me. Have a good day. Stay home, stay safe.